Welcome to Systems Alliance. My name is Jexy, and in this video, we're going to go ahead and go over this weekend's box office report, where Jordan Peele's Us finishes with over $71 million, which is a huge opening, and Captain Marvel tops $900 million worldwide. So as I mentioned, coming in at number 1 this weekend is Jordan Peele's Us, and this movie not only brought in over 71 million domestically, it also brought in just under 17 million internationally. So its total right now stands at $88 million. And this is a huge opening, not just for the horror genre, but in general. And the other thing is that it only cost $20 million to make. The budget's only $20 million. So not only did it already make its budget back, not only is it already profitable, it's already making multiple times its budget back. So this is yet another huge hit for Jordan Peele, and obviously you go on Rotten Tomatoes, it's in the high 90s. I mean, it was at 100 at one point with a ton of reviews. So I mean, this is an absolute hit for Jordan Peele, and with Get Out being a massive success the first time, grossing a ton of money there on only a $5 million budget, you have to look at this and go, this guy's like pure gold right now. You want to hire Jordan Peele as your director if you're a studio, because he is just killing it. If you don't factor in inflation, Us is the third highest R-rated horror film to open up all time. That's how big this opening is. And here's the other crazy part. In terms of live action movies that are original, so no sequels, part of another universe, anything like that, and obviously discounted animated when I'm talking about live action, it's the largest opening for any original film since 2009. So think about that. 2009 was the largest. I mean, everything is all sequels nowadays. Those are the big ones. This is the largest since 2009. And do you know what that movie was? Avatar. Now, of course, Avatar is one of the biggest movies of all time, but its opening actually wasn't too much bigger at 77 million unadjusted, but it obviously had amazing legs and, made all the money in the world. Now, obviously, I don't expect Us to do that, but it's still an amazing accomplishment, and as I said, it's already making tons of money for the studio. The question now remains, how much will Us make, mainly domestically? So, is it going to break 200 million? That seems like kind of a sure thing right now. Is it going to get to 250 million? That might be a push. We're just going to have to see. But I mean, for a horror movie to open this well, and not only that, to be reviewed this well, I mean, really the only comparison that we have anytime recently is his previous movie in Get Out. But that opened a lot smaller. So if it performs like that, it should do really well. We're just going to have to see exactly how well it does. Coming in at number 2 this weekend, Captain Marvel fell about 50%, bringing in a little over 34 million, which is still a pretty strong hold for this stage in the game. In its third week of release, it's now past $320 million domestic and $588 million internationally. Its total now stands at over $910 million. So really at this point, it's when's it going to break $1 billion? Could it be this upcoming week that it breaks $1 billion? I think so. I think that's the week that it hits $1 billion. So really, what are we talking about? Are we talking about 1.1, 1.2, maybe even 1.3 billion at this point? It's a little tough to say right now, but definitely somewhere in between that 1.2 and 1.3, I think is the range that we're looking at. This movie opened really strong all over the place. It's still having decent legs. Its drops aren't, crazy huge, especially for a comic book movie that opens so big. So I still have a lot of confidence that this movie can make 1.2, if not 1.3 billion. But let me know your thoughts about Captain Marvel and where you think it's going to end at. At this point, obviously $1 billion is a sure thing. It's just how much higher than it will it go. Dropping just under 45%, finished number 3 this weekend. In its second week of release is Wonder Park. With a little over 8.7 million domestically this weekend and a global total of just over 39 million, this movie cost somewhere between $80 and $100 million to make, so it's going to be a big loss for the studio. This movie is not only not even going to be profitable, it's probably not even going to make its budget back. So it's a little disappointing to see this movie flop so bad, but I mean, if you check out the reviews, it's not being well reviewed either, and if kids aren't liking it and want to, force their parents to go to it, then really this isn't like a Pixar movie where adults can enjoy it too. So unfortunately, it's just not getting the traction that the studio hoped. Its domestic total now stands at 29 million, and its international total now stands at over 10 million after bringing in another 5 million this weekend. So let me know if you've seen this movie. What do you think? Is this a movie that you think can possibly even match its budget? Or are you with me and thinking this is just going to be a money loser for the studio? 5 Feet Apart comes in fourth place this weekend in its second week of release, dropping just 35% to bring in over $8.5 million. And this is a great hold, and it almost passed Wonder Park. So it'll probably actually pass it next weekend in terms of where it ranks in the standings, but this is a pretty strong hold for a movie that didn't cost that much to make at all. Its domestic total now stands at over 26 million, where internationally it brought in over 6 million this weekend, and that's its basically whole total there. So overall worldwide it stands at over 32 million, so it's already making multiples on its budget. So it's going to be a successful film, part of that being a very small budget, but still seems to be holding on strong, and as it continues to open up internationally, this could actually be a very profitable film for the studio. So let me know your thoughts about this particular movie if you have seen it. As I mentioned last week, it's a very particular demographic, young adult females, but hey, if you've seen it, let me know your thoughts. Now, coming in at number 5 this weekend to round out the top 5 is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, dropping just 30% this weekend to finish with over $6.5 million domestically. Its domestic total now stands at over 145 million, and it added another 6 million this weekend to bring its international total to over $343 million. So once again, a very successful movie and very successful in this franchise, the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. But this movie will not pass the sequel that came prior to this, because this one's international total is kind of dying down. Maybe it passes 500 million worldwide, but overall it's not going to come close to the over 600 million the others made. But with a budget of 129 million, making over 500, that's still a really good result. One film I want to give credit to is called The Wandering Earth. Now, it's a Chinese film, hasn't gotten any attention here, made just under $6 million, but worldwide is just shy of $700 million, with the vast majority of that, of course, being in China, but still a massive success, and I think it deserves some credit, or at least deserves to be mentioned. So let me know your thoughts about The Wandering Earth and all the other movies in the top 5. Where do you think Captain Marvel's going to finish? What do you think about Jordan Peele's Us? I mean, this was a pretty big weekend for the box office, very successful overall. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Twitter, and we'll catch you next time.